Good morning, welcome to today's live trading London session with Pitchforks. Let's start sharing screen. I just got on the end of Chance's call and he was looking at one of them, some of my old alerts going off. So he had Audjpy for a sell, AJ for a possible buy, Audjpy as a buy, which I think he was already in, but it was down below quarter theory and back into drawdown. GCAD and USD CHF. And then someone said, look at NZDJPY. So he just pulled that up. He didn't have their scan. So I don't know if I've got the same one. That was Lenita's. I think it's Lenita. Let's have a look. And it was just retesting a pitchfork. No, I don't have the scan that he drew because it was just on a pitchfork here. Sorry about that. I'm pretty sure I don't have that. I've got one hidden. I've got a couple hidden. Fib retracement. That can go. Fib retracement. I've got one other hidden down there, but nothing coming up. So I can't help us on that one because I don't have pitchfork that he was working off. So nothing on NJ. Let's have a look at the news today. US dollar news at 3 p.m. UK time. So that'll affect our trading this afternoon, and non-farm payroll on Friday. So that will cause the market to tighten up, particularly tomorrow. And tomorrow we've got a lot of GBP red flag news on banking policy here. So let's start with, shall I start with the ones he looked at? Yeah, I may as well do it like that. ACAD sell. Again, I don't have the pitchfork he's in. It's coming back to quarter theory, so I can't draw that one up. Just double check. I have got some hidden. Oh, I have got that one. Okay. So that's this pitchfork here. So you've got above the 62, the break and the retest of the pitchfork and the quarter theory. It's just after the hour. It's just dropping back down. So it might give us another entry. And there's our 1 minute trend. If you want to think about that one, but see what's happening. Let me put this on. So we want it to hold that 1 minute trend line or the 62. And let's just briefly have a look at how the hourly candle closed. So that was a good sign. We had the hourly candle closed above the quarter theory and the pitchfork, although it did close below the 62. Back on the 1 minute. So there's your entry. If you want that one, that's an entry now. Well, it's only an idea. Remember, I'm not allowed to tell you what to do. You have to make your own mind up. But you've got the confirmations, and he had that as a buy. So 10 pip break and retest, 1 minute trend line above the 62, and the break and the retest of the quarter theory as well. And then on the take profit, there's the 20 pips. And your next zone is that pitchfork 0.95802. But what you need to be looking at is what it does with regard to the 62 EMA. Once price starts to fall back below that, then that's your sign. If it's stalling out at 10 pips, it's a slower moving pair Audjpy, about 4 out of 10. If it starts to stall out, then you need to start to think about getting out of the trade. So I'll set. Oh, why does the dog start off just when I'm doing this? Just set that at, if you were in that, I wouldn't have got in that till above that 62 or the 1 minute trend. So although technically it should be 10 pips off the pitchfork. 492592. But if you took it off there, 5625. Something like that. Technically you should be measuring it off the pitchfork, because that, or the quarter theory, because that's where your entry should be. So 500, 600 for your 10 pips. Maybe I'll put it at 600 to be safe. I don't know how it's going to stall out as it's a slower pair. And then I'll put an alert on, and then we can watch that. Add alert, see what happens when that. Sorry, I didn't get time to get into that myself. Even on demo, stop profit in. Okay, so that's ACAD. Then he had AJ for a buy, but we wouldn't normally get in, well, we wouldn't get into correlating pairs, but we'll have a look at it. Right, Benny! Same thing here. We've got pitchfork, quarter theory, and the 62, but it seems like it's dropping below. Let's have a look at our hourly candle. But don't get in this if you're in the other one. So hourly candle was straddling, could go either way, was straddling the pitchfork and the quarter theory. This is a sell candle, and it has opened above. It's got 45 minutes left to run. And you can see it's dropping. This is back on the 1 minute. So if we put a trend line on, anchor it somewhere, get as many touches as you can. Your trend line will move once you're in the trade. So, and it's a bit of a judgment where you put your trend line. You could put it like that, or you could have it wider. I've got more touches there. I think I prefer that one. And then you can see that it's done a break and a retest below. and it's now coming back down here. So it looks to me like it doesn't want to go up, which might obviously affect, if this is going to go down, then obviously it's going to affect our ACAD, because you know the same similar pairs, correlating pairs as we call it. Just put that out there. You don't want it on current price. So that does look like it's dropping, doesn't it? I'll put that back where it was. And let's see what the pivots are telling us now. Pivots, lower high, and we've got virtually an equal low. And let's look on our higher time frame. So this is a buy scan, and it's the one from July 10th that we're in. Oh, I can see another one running up there. What's that one? Just have a look, see how it's playing out in relation to that. Oh, they're very, very similar. I'll just take that down again. Don't need that as well. You just need to pick one. Sometimes I put them on if it's a little bit, if I'm in a trade and it's a bit, it might affect where it might stall out on taking profit or deciding if I'm going to get out the trade. So that's AJ. Looks like it's coming back down. In which case, we're doing something against the other one if you are in the other one, which you don't want to do, because this is we want something. Hang on, that's wrong. Start again. Let's put this out a bit bigger. So I don't know what's happening. We better look at our other one. So well, that's holding the pitchfork now, because 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. If we're looking for it to drop, then obviously we would be waiting for the 62 to curl down and for it to do that. Okay. So I'll just look at AJ. I haven't heard any alarm go off. That is still going up. Well, so we've got opposite things happening, which can be confusing. You certainly wouldn't be in a buy on one and then decide to take the sell on this. That looks like it might be holding the pitchfork, in which case what we would do is redraw our 1 minute trend, pull it further along where price is going, wait, and again wait for the opposite kind of thing. I hope it does want to buy, then it'll confirm the other one. Pull, what I would do then is start to pull this out, and then I'd be waiting for price to want to do that. And then we'll move on to some other pairs. And again, I wouldn't get in another pair if you're in the other one, because another correlating pair, because you're doubling your risk. Chance just said on the session this morning. So I never do that, personally speaking, never ever. 10 pips stop loss. Okay, so that's that looks like it's not doing a lot of movement, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, got 4 touches on there. And it looks like it's failing again, or not failing, but just going the other way. So that's those two. That's dropping down to the 62. So if you are in this trade, I don't like to predict because the other one's dropping as well, but that doesn't look very good to me. And it did do it's still holding the 62. It did have all the confirmations. The only sin might have been that we were in, it's only 2.6 pips, a bit late, and it's done, that's 12 pips there from the pitchfork. So it has done its one-to-one. So we'll see how that plays out, but it's just dropped below the 1 minute trend line, although the 62 is holding it just about. But obviously if it starts to break down further, then you know, that's it. It's not going to make much more of a move, probably, because it's a slow pair. So you have to make your own judgment about what you're going to do with that one. And that is coming down there as well. So that's ACAD and AJ. The other one for a buy was he had AU, and I think he was already in this one, and it was going into drawdown. Again, I don't know if I've got the same scan he's got. So he would have been in, that was at 9. So I don't quite understand that one, because unless he had a different scan, which I don't think, because his quarter, yes, I think I remember the visual when I got on his session, but the quarter theory is 14 pips away. So as I say, I wasn't on his session, or I only got on at the very end. So trend line, he had the break and the retest, so he would have had the trend line. Where's that? 9 o'clock. He would have had that point there, but he wouldn't have had this rest of it. Let's just magnify this a bit. So there's the start. That's the start of what was his session here. So he had the break and the retest of the pitchfork above the 62 and the 1 minute trend. So maybe that's what he was looking at. So he might have had the trend line like that. So I can't quite see that trade, because it isn't one that I would normally like because of the quarter theory being up there. Rather wish I'd heard the rest of his explanation on this one, but I didn't. So I'm not quite seeing the same thing, I don't think. So and it's dropping down now. 10. So it's dropped below the 62 anyway. It looks like the Australian dollar is falling at the moment, and that's coming below the pitchfork. So if we were looking at this for a sell, again, I wouldn't probably, how much is the stop loss on a short position? It wouldn't be one of my ideal setups, I don't think, because of the stop loss. Say 12, 13 or 12. down to there. So I'll take that one off because I can't see that one now. I think that's been and gone, whatever he was looking at there, and it looks to me like it wants to come back down to this 15-minute. So let's draw our own thing then. So trend line, break and retest below the 62, but we need it to come down here. And what other confirmations have we got? Put the brush on there. So I can't see a third confirmation at the moment. We've got the pitchfork touch, we need the break and the retest. We haven't quite got quarter theory in the red zone unless we increase our stop loss. I haven't got a fib or a channel touch on that, but we'll set an alarm and see what happens. So I'll just set it a bit further down. So we can watch if it breaks and retests. Settings. Okay, so that's AU. GCAD, I don't think that one set up how he wanted. As I say, it's a bit of a funny week because of non-farm payroll and Bank of England tomorrow. So non-farm payroll definitely makes the market tighten up as it gets closer to it. So GCAD, I've got two scans going on there. Better pick one of them. Which is the most recent? And I haven't looked at the scanner this morning. So D point, 20th of July. That's that one down there. This one, 16th of July. The green one, I think. Oh no, I've got one here. The white one. For some reason I haven't got my drawing on. Don't know if you've got this one. There we are. Oh, I know why. Because I drew it, but it wasn't quite at the 20 pips, I think. Might have been something to do with that. Right, so nice big scan, and it's come down very nicely. So the one I want to follow is the white one. I'll just fade the other one out. You only need one. Okay. So it's stalled out a long way all throughout the night, but we've missed the move because it's doing its move now. We're so sorry we've missed that one. So that was him, chance then. So he obviously must have had that for a sell. So very long stall out. Price will always want to come back to the 62. That's the close of the market, and then stalls out all the way through Asian pre-London fake out to the upside, and now wants to carry on what was a downward trend. If you look right back, it's been in a downward trend for a long time. So it's continuing its downward trend since London yesterday. So sorry about that one. We missed that one. Or have we missed it? No, we haven't missed it. There's a break and a retest there. It might not come back. How far off is that now? Oh, it's done 27 pips. I was going to say it might, but I think that's too many pips back to go back. Give us another entry, but it might do. Oh, wait a minute. Where's it going now? So if that comes back up there, 14 pips, and then drops, we have got another entry. So we could mark it up and put an alert on. Oh, I haven't really got a very good trend line. Try that. That's not brilliant. That's the best I can do. Change that to green. Let's put a short position on off that pitchfork. 15 pips, as it's one of our fast pairs, and you would want to cover your quarter theory. Price wants to always come back to different levels. So 20 pips, but really you'd be looking for it to carry on down to 1.73500, 35 pips. If it does give us another entry, as I say, it might not. Might be too far down. Because it's still 62 is still shoveling it down. It looks to me like it's not going to come back up now, but I'll put the alarm there just in case. Sometimes you do get the same setup given to you again. Right, so that's GCAD. And the last one he had was USD CHF. Let's see what happened there. Can't trade it, I don't have a scan. My scans are sitting up there. I think I've had that problem before with this one. So let's have a look at NJ. Let's have a look at EN. So what have we got going on here? We've got to break and a retest of the pitchfork. We've got it above the 62 with that coming back up, but the 62 has said sell. 62 is selling. It is in a downward trend. So we've got the 62 saying sell. We've got the pitchfork saying buy, and we've got the quarter theory up here. So it's just come back up to retest that 15-minute. So what we want to do is see what that might not like the look of that. You want 15. You would need to increase your stop loss because you do want to cover that quarter theory. That's a bit rich for me. Little bit, not too bad. There's another little pink pitchfork up there, and that one. So we're waiting for the break and the retest. Let me just put the other trend line on. Oh, dog's going to bark again. He wants to go out. You'll have to wait 20 minutes. Well, it's coming down now. So about the level of that candle, the bottom of that candle there, and then back up to the pitchfork, so the break and the retest. So that'll give us confirmation 1 to pitchfork touch, confirmation 2 break and retest, and then have I got, it's been quite a while since I've put a fib on something. Let's have a look. If you want previous high, so 78, just wicked off, just slipped above to test the blue 15-minute line, and then in that case you'd be looking at, if we like the look of that fib, so after the 0%, you're looking at that 78.6 line. It just wicked off there, and then it just wicked up to the 15 minutes, and then it's just slightly missed it, just very, very slightly. not touched it, and you do need to be accurate with fibs. But that does look quite good. So in that case, once you've got the break and the retest back, although you can take things just off the fib, but I don't often do that. I think some of the other people on here do. Anyway, then you're looking at your take profit 1 down at GCAD. We'll have a look at that. At the 0, take profit 2 is that line at the 27, and then take profit 3 zone is that line, that pitchfork line down there. Benny! Let's have a quick look at, seems to be coming back up. Quick look at GCAD. Right, GCAD's giving you the entry. And this is why you need your setups done in advance. So when you come back on, you know what it is you're looking for. So we haven't quite, the only thing I don't like is you haven't quite got fast pair, you haven't quite got quarter theory covered. You've got a break and a retest back. It's coming down now. And what is our third confirmation? It's a bit wicky, isn't it? So we had a smaller candle back there. A bit of a strange shape to put a trend line on. I can't quite see the... Can't quite see the trend, but we've got the 3 confirmations in the box, so that was an entry there. I keep missing things this morning because the alarm went off and it went quite quick, didn't it? How many pips off is it now? It's already 9 pips off, so I didn't get in that one either, even on demo. Sorry about that. You come back to EN. Oh, I've got 2 open there. That's coming back up. Exactly 10 pip break and retest that would be. I'll put an alert on that one. Sorry about all the lines. Oops, moving the wrong one. Right, we'll see what that does. So at the moment it looks like it's going straight down, just working off that fib, not doing a break and a retest, but that's what I wanted to see it do. But then the 62 is above it there. So it might just be working off that fib and going down. So you've got a bit of a mixed message there, because either you just, some people do, and that's absolutely fine. They just work off that fib. But you do really need your 3 confirmations, and it did wick off nicely there. And if it just goes to the 62, not back up, because if that holds it, that's 3.4 pips away. Then the issue with that is covering that quarter theory, which you can't then really do, but you have got the fib. Because that would mean 20 pip stop loss, which is not what we like to do on this. So that is going down from there. So that is all right, Benny. Good boy. Just wait a minute. That's EN. Let's look at something else. I haven't looked at UCAD. That's in the middle of nowhere. I haven't looked at the scanner yet either today. I haven't got anything on that. I'll just close that one down. There's our EN. So we've probably missed that because it's gone down off the fib and isn't coming back up. And sometimes they can run away quite a bit, like 15 pips, and you think, oh, I've missed it, and then it will go back up. But it is now below that 62. So we'll see on that one. EuroCAD, I had that marked up there, didn't like that. That was from yesterday. That's in a big scan there. So it's just come off that. I don't think I've got anything else on that one. Let's switch those back on. Oh, I've got a pink one there. That's interesting. So that pink one was the second pitchfork I put on from a scan from the 5th of June. But at the time when we last looked at this, I closed it off because it was in the green area, but now we're back in the pink area. So it just depends whether you like doing quarter theory trades, or depends what scans you've got as well, of course. Because if we're working on our green one, then we've got that 75 pip gap, so you can take a quarter theory. I've got my second pitchfork, which I think I said I was quite happy with. You can see it's touched it there. Because I do go back and check that it's respected it. So this is in a downward trend, as you can clearly see, and has been for quite some time. So that's the current momentum. And it's now dropping further. So what have we got? We've got, oh, and we've got this sort of wedge thing going on as well. So if I'm going to use my second pitchfork, which I would do if I was trading on my own, not on this call, then I'd say to myself, I'm not really interested in this at the moment until it decides what it's going to do in this area here. EN. Okay, your alert's gone off on EN, so wait for the sell candle and wait for it to come below that orange line, the 62 EMA. Don't get in it unless it's below that, if you're thinking of getting in this one. So that has now given us our break and retest of 10 pips. It's a sell candle forming. You're 10 minutes before the hour, remember, as well, where you get the fake outs with the last 10 minutes, which is crazy times. So you have got that problem, you've got that issue, you've got that decision to make. Your the white line is your pitchfork. You're 10 minutes before the hour. It's above the 62. So you want to be careful in case it shoots up on you into drawdown. Not ideal. You know, I don't like getting into trades, as you know, but then of course, you know, you've got to make a decision. But too often we see it fake out to the crazy side, the opposite way you want it to go. All right, Benny, good boy. Just cross your legs for a minute. Good boy. Yeah, see, look at it pushing up. And that's why we don't get in until, if we're in a sell, until it's below that orange line, the 62, to act as a ceiling to stop it doing this. And it's 10 minutes before the hour. So we can move our... So I've left that alarm. We'll wait for that alarm to go off. That shot straight up the other way on EuroCAD. So that's interesting. The euros have suddenly decided they're shooting up. So that obviously will affect EN as well. That's gone right up to the 15-minute. Euro USD, let's see what's happening there. Again, same thing. The euros have decided to take off and there's no red flag news or anything. So euros going up against GBP. Let's have a look at Euro GBP before we go. Euro GBP. See if the euro is going up against the Great British Pound. So it could be the pound is going down today because of Bank of England announcements tomorrow. Interesting. Hasn't done a lot against that, has it? And I've got this white pitchfork here on this one. And let me look at, I haven't looked at Euro USD today in detail. So I was waiting for it down at this level here. I've got my alert set up. That was what I put in the trade group yesterday, following on from what the big player had said. He was looking for that bull run, and indeed it did exactly what he said, up to 1.181, still going up further. I didn't get in that, but I did because it was a bit late in the day, but it did do everything. Let's just come out of that. I know there was money from a long time ago that the bankers had left right up at this level, but that's the Euro USD at the moment. So last couple of minutes, let's flick through what's happening. That's gone up to the 88.6, wicking off that, and the 15-minute on EN. Euros have suddenly taken off, no idea why. Euro CAD, same thing, a spike up there. Touching the 15-minute line. Let's see if they're going to come down. Nope, that's still going up. Still going up. That's our pitchfork up there. It's just wicking off that as we come up to the hour. Euro USD we've just looked at. Euro GBP in the middle of nowhere. GBP USD. Oh, GBP went up as well off that quarter theory. What have we got going on here? Oh, sometimes I clean up the charts and then I forget that I want them for Friday. I must save some things. So we've had GBP USD, had a downward momentum, stall out. It's the 15-minute. So it did make a downward move there. You've still got the 62 saying buy. The pitchfork, it's above the pitchfork, and it looks like it's coming above the quarter theory, so it's saying buy at the moment. But what is our overall trend? Come to the 30-minute. So it was in that buy scan from the from June. Dip down. Right, so it has been going up. I think might be looking at that going down. Let's keep an eye on that for later. It decides what it's doing. It's just stalling out on quarter theory at the moment. Broken the 1-minute trend above the 62, above the pitchfork, stalling out on the quarter theory. So if we put that on it for the moment. Just make sure we've got that pitchfork covered. So if it's going to follow this trend line, then wait for that break and retest of the quarter theory. That you've got both the break and the retest on the quarter theory and the pitchfork. and you want that 62 to be coming on up. So something like this. Okay, so that's GBP USD, GA downward trend. Wait for it to get below that pitchfork if you've got that one, but same sort of markup. You want the downward trend line. You want it to clear that pitchfork down there, and then it's cleared. Although at the moment it's stalled out there, and it looks like it's sort of ranging. But GA is a fast pair, but it didn't like. I think I've got a couple of times running out, so I don't want to go into it too much. But it's stalling out on that pitchfork there. It's in a downward trend, but it is between those pitchforks and that quarter theory. But it looks to me like it's still pushing down, but it couldn't clear that level for quite some time. So it's indecision. It's making its mind up what it's doing, which is why I say, you know, is it going to carry on down? Because look at all that stall out there that it couldn't break below those equal lows. So then I would go back and see if I could see any previous lines of support and resistance which were at the same level, and indeed you can see them back there. It could not break that low there, so it's at that level there. So always look left to see what the story is telling you. And we'll just finish going through the pairs at the top. So that's GA. Audjpy alert's gone off. So that did take its sweet merry time. It did hold its level. That is at the 10 pips. For those of you that got in, that is a slow pair. That did take quite a while to move. So from the first, that's taken an hour, nearly an hour and a half. So stop profiting if you did get in that one. Edit that, remove the alert, because I didn't get in it. It was when we very first came on. So that one's working its way through. AJ, if you were in one, don't get in the other. That one as well. It did drop down, but it is working its way up the same way. So interestingly, so it did the break and the retest. You didn't get that break to the upside there off the 1 minute trend. It broke down here, but then it did respect the previous confirmations, so that's quite interesting. So that's just about, that's still above the 62. It does look like it's stalling out a bit. So you might, if you were in that one, you might want to think about taking your profits. Quite slow pair, I think. Or you could say it's still above the 62. Redraw your. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be redrawing my trend line. Take that off. Clear up my chart. Don't need all that anymore. And then I would just be putting that to, because I'd want it to stay above my 1 minute trend. Help me think about when is it finished its move. Ow! All right. I'm getting pawed from below the desk now. Like, Mum, time's up. Take me out. There we are. So that's a ow. All right. GCAD. GCAD's still going the opposite way. Still above the 62, above the pitchfork. So you've got mixed, you've got 62 saying buy, you've got the pitchfork saying buy. quarter theory saying sell, so it's sitting between those two at the moment. And Euro Ward, the last one I had up on my top up there. So that is off the extensions. 62's turning round, so probably looking at that coming up there. But I don't know without more analysis, but putting that like that, that's probably where I'd be starting, and then I'd look to see what the scan was saying. Euro Ward, usually fast one, 15 usually I put on that. Okay, so quick run through again. EUN totally all the way back up there, that fib's gone. Once it's done that your fib's gone. Doesn't apply, they're always moving. Doesn't apply any longer. You've got to look at your setup again. Bounced off quarter theory. I'm not going to run through them all again. The Euro's decided to take off up there, as we said. So that's it for today. I'll see you, well, for this morning, I'll see you in New York at 2 p.m. UK time. So let me stop the share and just see if there's any questions. Nothing in the chat. I'll just stop recording